Listen, if she's pulling away yet keeps circling back into your life, if she claims she needs space but obsessively checks your stories, likes your posts, or finds reasons to reach out, if she insists she's not ready for anything serious but gets visibly jealous or upset when you're talking to someone else and you're trapped in this cycle, overanalyzing every breadcrumb, every inconsistent message, every push pull dynamic, what if I revealed that her confusion isn't a sign she's unsure about you? It's actually one of the clearest indicators that she's deeply falling for you, maybe even already in love. And right now, there's probably one common thing you're doing, something that feels natural and caring. That's why her confusion means she's falling for you, unintentionally making her retreat deeper into denial and doubt. I learned this hard truth after observing hundreds of relationships crumble from the exact same error. When I explain it shortly, it might sound outrageous at first, but stay with me. The hidden reality no one talks about. Her mixed signals aren't about lacking feelings for you, they're about her struggling to trust those intense emotions. The harder you press for answers and clarity, the more you fuel her inner turmoil, driving her further away. There's a critical psychological turning point, a make or break moment where her confusion can evolve into full commitment or spiral into permanent disconnection. Most guys completely overlook it. In this script, the common mistake you're making that's pushing her away. I'll break down exactly what's going on in her head during emotional conflict, how fear masquerades as uncertainty, and the precise actions that either draw her in irreversibly or repel her for good. Once you grasp this, you'll stop internalizing her hot and cold behavior as rejection. You'll recognize it for what it truly is, a woman battling her own powerful feelings out of self-P protection. But here's where it gets fascinating and counterintuitive. There's one move that feels almost wrong, even harsh on the surface, but it's the single most effective way to resolve her confusion. I'll reveal it step by step later. This isn't manipulation or mind games. It's rooted in real psychology. Why women guard their hearts fiercely, even when they're inside her head. Desire versus fear in female psychology, desperate to surrender them. By the end, you'll know precisely how to guide her through this emotional storm without sacrificing your own peace or self-respect. Plus, I'll share that one powerful phrase that can instantly bring clarity to a confused woman, but only if timed perfectly, or it could explode in your face. Let's dive into the core truth first. The real root of her confusion. If you assume it's just she doesn't know what she wants, you're missing the deeper story, and you're about to see every past interaction with her in a whole new perspective. Why she's truly confused, the full explanation. Imagine the scenario: she lights up, the push-pull cycle, explained around you, laughs genuinely at your humor, invents reasons to spend time together. The spark and chemistry when you're face to face is electric, undeniable. But as soon as things edge towards something deeper or more committed, she pulls back dramatically. You seek reassurance, ask about the future. She responds with, "I don't know," or "I'm confused." You respect her words and give space. She pops back up with flirty texts or initiations. You start detaching to protect yourself. She ramps up efforts for your attention. This isn't random or about you not being enough. Her confusion stems from what a relationship with you symbolizes to her on a subconscious level. Almost every woman who's chronically confused in root causes, past wounds, and emotional armor dating shares a similar past wound, often tied to early experiences where vulnerability led to pain, abandonment, or heartbreak. Inside her, there's an intense internal battle: desire versus terror, the pull to open up and dive in versus the dread of getting devastated again, surrendering control versus staying safe. Most men misinterpret this entirely. They double down, prove their worth more aggressively, debate logically through her hesitations, or issue ultimatums demanding a decision. That approach fails miserably, and worse, it activates her strongest defenses. In fact, one well-intentioned behavior many guys adopt, thinking it's how confusion protects her heart supportive, actually triggers her flight response harder. When you remove that pressure entirely, the dynamic flips dramatically. Confusion serves as armor. It's her psyche's built-in shield against potential hurt. Every woman carries scars, time she trusted too quickly, invested deeply in someone unreliable, or had her heart mishandled. So when genuine, strong feelings emerge with you, her brain sounds alarms instead of rejoicing. What if this is another mistake? What if I'm misreading the signs? What if he switches up once I fully commit? The stronger her attraction and emotions, the more amplified that protective fear becomes. Paradoxically, the women who appear most indecisive and the tipping point, commitment or disconnection, confused, are frequently the ones who feel the deepest. We only overanalyze and second guesses things that truly matter to us. We dismiss what we don't care about losing. Her confusion, then, is indirect proof. This connection scares her because it's profoundly real and valuable. But confusion has an expiration date. There's a rapid tipping point where it resolves into commitment or hardens into endless limbo and fade out. Pushing won't accelerate clarity. It delays it. So, what does now for the practical strategy? How to handle a confused woman effectively? Quick pause. If any of this is hitting home already, engage with this content. So the strategy: stop trying to fix her confusion algorithm, shares it with more men who need it. Key principle: sure. 1. Cease trying to fix or resolve her confusion for her. This is the fatal error most men commit. They approach her emotions like a puzzle requiring immediate solution. Probing questions, demands for definitions, constant check-ins on where we stand, reality check, pressuring for clarity amplifies her sense of being cornered. Now she's managing her own fears, plus your insecurity about the uncertainty. Pressure compounds attraction erotus, the counterintuitive shift that sounds crazy but works. Demonstrate through vibe and behavior that you're genuinely fine if this never progresses romantically, even if it hurts internally. Project unshakable. Key principle: number 1, project unshakable. Calm, calm. You're present and warm, but not emotionally collapsing while she processes. Provide true emotional safety, availability without clinginess, space without ghosting or punishment. You neither desperately pursue nor abruptly vanish. The extremes most men default to this poised stability is incredibly attractive and rare. I'll outline the ideal time frame for maintaining this soon. Mistime it, and the window closes permanently. Key mistake to avoid: don't keep steering conversations toward the relationship or labels. Phrases like, "what are we?" or "where is this going?" force her to define something she's still wrestling with internally, reigniting fear cycles. Mistakes to avoid: no pressure for labels. Instead, prioritize shared positive experiences in the moment. Fun dates, deep connection, laughter, comfort, adventure. Emotions bypass mental blocks far better than rational talks. When she's immersed in feeling good, safe, and alive with you, her doubts quiet. Naturally, she shifts from questioning to realizing she's already invested. Pro tip: certain types of experiences supercharge this. Done right, they dissolve confusion rapidly. Done wrong or prematurely, they scream manipulation. Build an environment where vulnerability feels rewarded, not risky. Many women have been shamed for their emotions. They've been labeled too emotional, dramatic, or overthinking. So when they open up, they often do it cautiously. Part of them is already bracing for impatience, for criticism, for being dismissed. This is where most men get it wrong. Instead of reacting, respond with grounded strength. No frustration, no judgment, no rush to fix what she's feeling. Just hold space, allow her emotional complexity to exist without demanding clarity, solutions, or resolution. This silently communicates something powerful. I can handle depth. You don't have to shrink yourself around me. And that's what makes you different. Advanced move, and it sounds counterintuitive. At the right moment, intentionally reveal a controlled personal vulnerability of your own. Not oversharing, not emotional dumping, just enough to show you're human. This doesn't weaken your presence. It humanizes you. And When done correctly, it deepens trust exponentially. You create emotional safety. And when vulnerability is met with strength instead of judgment, it becomes rewarded, not punished. That's how real emotional connection is built. Absolute requirement: maintain a rich, fulfilling life independent of her decision. If your happiness hinges entirely on her choosing you, if you're endlessly available, pausing your goals while waiting, it broadcasts low value and erodes respect fast. Pursue ambitions, nurture friendships, invest in growth, not to provoke jealousy, but because that's authentic, high value behavior. This creates natural urgency. She witnesses you thriving without her at the center. Her mindset shifts. Fear of losing you outweighs fear of committing. The nuclear high risk play, intentionally introducing subtle scarcity, but only if executed. Advanced move: share your own vulnerability flawlessly. Watch for these breakthrough signals. Consistent initiation from her side, dropping excuses, flakiness, opening up emotionally, asking probing questions about you. Most men ruin it here by overreacting, pushing for immediate commitment the second sheens. Stay composed. Receive her openness gracefully without triumph or pressure. This reinforces safety. The promised maintain your independent life for natural urgency phrase for maximum impact. When momentum builds, she's consistent and vulnerable. Deliver calmly. I really appreciate you sharing this real side of yourself with me. Simple, non-needy acknowledgement. It validates without claiming victory. Far more powerful than any "I told you so" or logical argument. Final wisdom: a confused woman isn't indifferent. She's overwhelmed by how much she cares. Your response shapes the outcome. Push and breakthrough signals. She's softening lose, wait weekly, and lose respect, or hold strong frame. Live fully and allow her to choose you without coercion. Sometimes confusion persists indefinitely, and walking away preserves the powerful phrase "to bring clarity your dignity," and often triggers her regret. Master this, and you become the man who transforms uncertainty into devotion naturally. No chasing required. If this shifted your perspective, comment "thank you" below to show you're committed to leveling up, and subscribe Final Wisdom. Transform uncertainty into devotion for more. Next, I'll break down the 3 specific texts that turn a confused woman obsessed. Sent in precise order. Wrong sequence destroys everything. You won't want to miss